Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're diving into a conversation that's been quietly picking up heat online after a simple family photo suddenly turned into something much bigger than anyone expected. What started as a normal, wholesome moment shared by Katie has now sparked pregnancy rumors, relationship debates, and a wave of strong reactions across Reddit. So yeah, this one escalated quickly. Let's break down what actually happened and why people are talking. Before we get into the latest buzz, let's quickly rewind. Katie and Travis have already been under public attention for a while, especially when it comes to their relationship dynamics. There have been past discussions online about trust, rumors of cheating, and questions about how stable things really are behind the scenes. So when anything new pops up, especially something as sensitive as a possible pregnancy, it doesn't just stay as a simple update. It immediately gets pulled into that bigger narrative people have already built around them. Now, the moment that triggered all of this actually comes from a photo originally posted by Texas Katie herself. It's a pretty normal family picture. Katie smiling, standing next to Travis, who's holding one of their kids, while another child stands in front of them. The overall vibe is warm, casual, and very much like any everyday family snapshot you'd expect. But once that photo made its way onto Reddit, the tone of the conversation shifted completely. The title of the post set the direction right away, suggesting that Katie has the glow and might be pregnant again. And just like that, what was meant to be a simple post turned into a full-blown speculation thread. From there, the comments didn't hold back. One of the strongest patterns you'll notice is how quickly people jumped from pregnancy speculation to relationship criticism. Instead of just asking whether she might be expecting, many comments went straight into questioning the situation between Katie and Travis. Some users wrote things like, "When will she learn a baby can't fix a marriage?" while others sarcastically added, "Probably around baby number 6. So instead of curiosity, the tone leaned heavily toward judgment, with people assuming this could be another attempt to fix deeper issues. And then, of course, the cheating rumors came back into the spotlight. Multiple comments brought up Travis's past, suggesting that even if Katie is pregnant, it wouldn't change anything. One comment bluntly said, "When he tells the internet he cheated again," while another added that he loves making her look stupid. These aren't light remarks. They show how strongly some people feel about their relationship, even though they're reacting from the outside looking in. What's interesting is how quickly the narrative shifts, from a photo to pregnancy speculation, to full-on relationship criticism within just a few comments. There's also a layer of comparison happening here. Some users brought up another couple, mentioning Tori, and suggesting that Katie might believe the same approach will work for her. Comments like, "If it worked for Tori, it will work for her," started appearing, turning the conversation into something broader than just Katie's situation. It became less about what's actually happening and more about patterns people think they're seeing. Then the discussion moved into control and decision-making within the relationship. Some users argued that Katie might not even have full control over certain decisions, while others pushed back and said she actually does. You'll see comments like, "She doesn't get to make that decision," followed by replies like, "She's holding the cards right now." So even within the same thread, people aren't just criticizing, they're debating each other, trying to figure out who really has the upper hand in that relationship. Another noticeable shift is how some comments moved away from speculation and into concern, or at least what sounds like concern. A few users questioned how Travis reacted to previous pregnancy news, asking whether he even seemed happy. Others expressed doubts more directly, saying things like, "No baby will fix Travis," suggesting that whatever issues exist are much deeper than adding another child to the family. Again, these are all assumptions, but they show how invested people have become in a story that, at its core, wasn't even confirmed. Interestingly, the thread didn't just stay focused on Katie. Some users began sharing their own experiences, talking about people in their lives who stayed in difficult relationships or went back to partners who cheated. One comment described a cousin who kept returning to the same situation over and over again, turning the conversation into something more personal and relatable. At that point, it stopped being just about Katie and started becoming a space where people projected their own experiences onto what they think is happening. Then there's the part of the discussion that focused on Travis's appearance, which got pretty harsh. Some users commented that he looked like he hadn't slept, or that something felt off, with one even saying he looked like he needed rehab. Others compared how he used to look before previous controversies, saying he once appeared more put together. These kinds of comments go beyond speculation. They turn into direct judgments about someone's condition without any real confirmation. And despite all of this noise, it's important to circle back to the original source. The photo itself, again, was just a normal family post from Katie. No announcement, no caption confirming anything, no direct hint about a pregnancy. Everything that followed came entirely from interpretation. A single image was enough to spark assumptions, and from there, the internet filled in the blanks with its own narrative. This is where things get interesting from an entertainment news perspective. What we're seeing isn't just about Katie or Travis, it's about how quickly online conversations can escalate. One moment, it's a simple photo. The next, it becomes a storyline involving pregnancy rumors, relationship struggles, past controversies, and personal opinions from hundreds of strangers. And once that momentum builds, it's hard to slow it down, because every new comment adds another layer to the story. At the same time, not every comment was negative. There were still people who simply reacted to the photo itself, appreciating the family moment without reading too much into it. But those voices were definitely quieter compared to the louder, more dramatic takes that dominated the thread. And that contrast really shows how online spaces tend to amplify the most intense reactions rather than the most balanced ones. So where does that leave us right now? As of this moment, there is no confirmed information that Katie is pregnant. Everything circulating is based on speculation from a single photo that was taken from her own post and reposted on Reddit. The reactions, however, reveal a lot about how people view her relationship and how quickly assumptions can take over when there's already a narrative in place. At the end of the day, this situation is a perfect example of how entertainment news doesn't always start with a headline. It often starts with a moment. A photo, a caption, or even just a vibe that people pick up on. And from there, the conversation grows, shifts, and sometimes turns into something much bigger than what was originally shared. So what do you think about all of this? Do you see what people are seeing, or do you think this is just another case of the internet reading way too much into a normal moment? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this one definitely has people divided. And if you enjoy breaking down stories like this with us, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next update.